Tiananmen is a living event. It's not something that began and ended in 1989. It fundamentally contributed to a whole generation of activists who are working today. It planted in people's mind deep and important questions about the legitimacy and the brutality of the government that continue on today.
We can see the human rights situation becomes a bit better than in 1989, but that's not because of the effort of the Communist Party. It is because of the struggle of the Chinese people.
I was a young reporter for Newsweek magazine at the time of Tiananmen Square. And the spirit on the square was very often one of an emotional and political release. Things that had been pent up for years, frustrations with government, frustrations with the way people were forced to live their lives.
Ultimately, the decision was made to clear the square. And so on June 3rd and 4th, the tanks were sent in, the soldiers were sent in, and an untold number of people were killed.
One of the things that made the crackdown so astonishing was that it occurred in front of the world's news media. And what the Chinese government had to say after Tiananmen Square was, it didn't happen. It was a big lie perpetuated by an extraordinary system of censorship in China in the 25 years since. So the Chinese government has been successful in suppressing open conversation about Tiananmen Square, but it hasn't been successful in extinguishing people's desire for democracy and free expression. And if anything, those issues have only become more urgent in these last 25 years. As China grows and develops, as it becomes the second largest economy in the world, and it seeks a role for itself on the world stage, what is holding China back? The big lie. The fact that this is a government that does not tell the truth about one of the most fundamentally important events in its own history.
You're also talking about a government that has to learn to come to grips with peaceful criticism. The failure to do so undercuts, erodes, makes impossible the kinds of political, economic, and security reforms that China has to undertake if it is going to continue to make progress. It's not optional anymore. The state has to become more accountable to people.
The way to overcome corruption and the abuse of power, which are the biggest issues in China today, is precisely through free expression. Exactly what the demonstrators on Tiananmen Square wanted. They want government that's not corrupt, that doesn't lie to them, and that doesn't abuse its power. Everybody wants that.